Do you know 177 Tory MPs have been ministers since the general election in 2019? Let me put to you why I think that this really matters. So one of the things that I've been engaged in for the last few years is acquired brain injury. You may have read about rugby players, football players who've had suffered from dementia, early onset dementia, or anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, poor cognitive functioning because of concussion or brain injuries, as I prefer to call it, that they've received in playing sport. So I've been campaigning on this for the last few years, and I've been arguing that we need a national strategy for brain injury because it affects so many different departments of government. Now, I first raised this with Matt Hancock when he was the Health Secretary, but he was sacked and then imploded. Then Sajid Javid appointed me to chair a committee on setting up a national strategy on acquired brain injury with the junior minister Gillian Keegan. Then Javid resigned to oust Boris, who replaced him with Steve Barclay, and Liz demoted Keegan to the Foreign Office, and Rishi then promoted her to be Secretary of State for Education. Meanwhile, Barclay was sacked by Liz, replaced by Therese Coffey, and then reinstated by Rishi, and Keegan was replaced at Health by Robert Jenrick, but he was immediately moved to the Home Office, and then Neil O'Brien, who had been a junior minister at Levelling Up, and Helen Waitley, who had been moved from the Department for Health and Social Care to the Treasury, spent a few weeks sorting out who was getting which portfolio under Barclay in the Department for Health. So, I haven't managed to have a meeting with the Minister about something which I'm meant to be drawing up a national strategy on them with for months. And you can replicate that in every other department of government. We haven't got a government. We haven't had a government, basically, for about 18 months, if not 2 years. We've had some people in ministerial offices, but we haven't had a government. And I think that's dangerous. It's dangerous because the country needs governing at a time like this. You're not going to sort out the NHS backlog of 7 million unless you've got a strategy, and that means you've got to have a functioning government.